Bertram Whittier, or B.W. Wells, was born in Troy, Ohio in 1884. He grew up just a few miles away from two other scientists who became famous in North Carolina, the Wright brothers. On a botanical field trip along a riverbank in 1910, B.W. Wells identified his first wildflower, the fire pink, Silene virginica. He was impressed by this bright red flower that numbered in the thousands on one bank of the river, but none grew on the other bank. With this one discovery, B.W. Wells realized his life's dream. He was going to be a plant ecologist. In 1919, he moved to North Carolina to become a botany professor at North Carolina State College, now called North Carolina State University. Throughout the 1920s, he traveled from the mountains to the sea, learning about the plants that grew in his new home state. He was the first person to realize that from west to east, North Carolina has the same plants that range from Canada to Florida. He described 11 different natural communities, and his field trips to each one earned him a legendary status. He taught well in the classroom, but in the field he was in top form. In 1932, he became the head of the botany department and also published his landmark book, The Natural Gardens of North Carolina. Now in its third printing, the book is still an excellent description of the state's natural beauty. On an early train ride to Wilmington, B.W. made one of his most amazing discoveries. He saw an open savanna land with no trees, just several miles, full of more wildflowers than he had ever seen. On a return visit, he noted that while standing in one spot, you could see 5 species of carnivorous plants. This area was called the Big Savanna. Through his explorations, he would often seek out north-facing slopes for their diversity of wildflowers. While along the Neuse River in Wake County, he found one such slope near some rock cliffs. On top of the hill, he found the most beautiful and remote farmhouse. Years later, through a stroke of luck and good fortune, he was able to purchase the 154-acre Rock Cliff Farm as his retirement home. Here he continued to hike and explore nature, entertain visitors and family, and continue his role as a botanist, ecologist, and teacher. In his retirement, he took a painting class at NC State. One of his homework assignments was to develop a new painting method. He collected pine needles from his farm and tied them into a brush to create some quality portraits. He produced over 300 paintings, most of which he gave away. He would paint portraits and then give them to family members. He would paint people's homes, local churches, but his favorite landscape was at his home property, the giant rock cliff that towered above the Neuse River, called Zeagle's Rock. B.W. Wells passed away in 1978 at the age of 94. He saw the nation become aware of the environment, a goal he spent his life pursuing. He saw the awakening and growth of environmental education and land protection throughout North Carolina. And he saw the field of ecology become widely accepted thanks to his life's work. Friends and colleagues formed the B.W. Wells Association to preserve his naturalist thoughts and ideas, and maintain the trail and grounds of Rock Cliff Farm. The association has grown with the times, and in 2009 published The Natural Gardens of Rock Cliff Farm, which describes the natural and cultural history of this unique property. Volunteers maintain the trails, plant flowers, and lead history and nature hikes. Every spring, a B.W. Wells Heritage Day event is held with numerous guided tours and children's activities, including pine needle painting. Rock Cliff Farm is only open for guided tours and events. Don't miss out on a unique opportunity to learn about North Carolina's pioneer ecologist, botanist, teacher, nature's champion.